Do you think ukuleles are just toys? That they're easy, maybe too limited, maybe just for beginners? Think again. In this video, we're not just debunking myths. We are shattering these big misconceptions about this wonderful instrument. Because these myths could be holding back a lot of potential players. We're gonna debunk 7 of the most common myths about this mighty little instrument. My name is Lucy. If you like ukulele, folk music, pop music, hit that subscribe button. All right, myth number 1. Ukulele is just a toy. Who's heard this one? A lot of people mistake the ukulele for a kid's toy because of its size. In reality, the ukulele is actually a professional instrument used all over the world by professional musicians. And yes, there are ukuleles that are toys, but when you find a high quality ukulele, they're so nice. They've got beautiful tone, craftsmanship, and a very expressive range. Also, some of them are so expensive. They're very nice. Professional musicians like Jake Shimabukuro, Imane Gardner, they perform on massive stages with ukuleles that cost just as much as those very expensive guitars. It's not just a toy. The right setup of a ukulele, it creates the most beautiful, lush sound you've ever heard. There's complexity, especially if you get into effects and pedals, you can really make a lot of cool noises with the ukulele. So while you might see them in toy stores, those are toy ukuleles. Or maybe you see them as souvenirs while traveling and you pick them up and play them and you're like, oh, this is terrible. That's not what we're talking about. There's a whole world of ukuleles out there that you don't know about yet, in so many different styles. If you haven't yet, I really recommend going in person into a music store to test out some of the high quality ukuleles. Just like ask to play the most expensive one. I think the most expensive one I tried was 14 grand from, I think it was Martin. Like butter. Magic, just magical. Try them out and you'll notice the quality and the tone, how easy it is to play as opposed to like a toy ukulele that's made of plastic. There's also ukulele gatherings and clubs all over the world where you can meet other players and ask them questions about all the different types of ukuleles and how they found theirs and how you can find the right fit for you. Not a toy, definitely not a toy. If it was less than 40 bucks, okay, probably a toy. Might have been a toy. Myth number 2. Ukuleles are only for Hawaiian music. Okay, first of all, I love Hawaiian music. So sure, yes, the ukulele has roots in Hawaii, of course. Ukulele originated in the late 1800s. Someone who was Portuguese came to the islands with, it was like machete, like a type of guitar instrument. And then the Hawaiians crafted their own version of that, which came to be known as the ukulele, and it became a huge part of their culture and still is today. But the ukulele, since then, has grown to be so much more. You hear it in pop music, you hear it in rock music occasionally, you hear it classical, jazz, it's everywhere. There are songs from Billie Eilish that are on the ukulele. Rock band 21 Pilots has a few ukulele songs. And you can find covers of Nirvana and Radiohead and all of today's rock music. There's a cover on ukulele for it. Some companies even style their ukuleles to look like guitars. That's how cool ukuleles are. We're trying to make guitars more like them. This one was modeled off the Telecaster, the Fender Telecaster. Ukulele makes the musical genre of whatever style you want to play on it. So playing a ukulele doesn't make it ukulele music, unless that's your way of thinking. You can play any genre on the ukulele. Just like you wouldn't say guitar is only one genre, right? Even though if you think of guitar, maybe the first thing you think of is a rock electric guitar with a rock band. But you know that guitar is played in all types of music. Same thing with the ukulele. It doesn't have to be Hawaiian music where it originated. Today, you can hear ukulele all over the place. I highly recommend doing a deep dive and checking out some music that features ukulele. But I do really love Hawaiian ukulele music. Like if I have to study or try and relax, I'll put on Hawaiian Cafe, one of those YouTube channels where you're just at the beach and there's Hawaiian music playing. It's good stuff. Myth number 3, it's super easy to learn. Okay, this one's kind of half true. It's easy to start on the ukulele. I will give you that. It's easy to start on the ukulele. It's not the most intimidating instrument, you know? It's playful. It invites you in. But is it super easy to learn? No, not necessarily. To learn the basics, I would say yes. It's a great instrument to start on. It really builds your confidence when you learn C, F, G, and then you can play 200 songs. Definitely easy to learn the basics. But as I said, the ukulele is a very complex instrument. To play fluently on the ukulele though, you're gonna be learning advanced chords, finger picking styles, percussive strumming, alternate tunings, complex rhythms, thing where they hit the thing where they hit it and it sounds really cool and they keep it, you know, with the, you know what I'm talking about. Do the whole Ed Sheeran bit. There's a lot of cool ways to play the ukulele, and while it is easy to start on the ukulele, I wouldn't say it's an easy instrument to learn. It's not like a super simple instrument. Small, yes. Simple, no. Which brings me to myth number 4. You can't play complex songs on the ukulele. Totally false. With the right arrangement, you can actually play any song on the ukulele. Fingerstyle, chord melody, you can even do open tunings. There's way more possibilities than you would assume. You can even replicate full band arrangements with the ukulele by playing one, like you could play the bass on a bass ukulele, you could play the harmonies on a baritone ukulele and the lead on a soprano ukulele. You can layer those together. You can make it as complicated as you want. Most people do learn a few chords and that's it forever. And that's okay too. But there are musicians out there making such cool arrangements on the ukulele, and you should definitely look them up. Just because it's small and the fretboard is smaller than a guitar doesn't mean that there's less to do there. It means you get more creative. Myth number 5, the ukulele is only for kids. Do I look like a child? I'm not talking about the way I dress. This myth is especially frustrating because just because an instrument is small doesn't mean it's for a kid. All right, the violin is also small. And when a kid plays the violin well, we call them a prodigy. Is it playful and inviting? Yes, we love it. The ukulele is very friendly, user-friendly. It calls us in, but that doesn't mean it's just for kids. I didn't start playing the ukulele until after high school. I played guitar through high school, I played drums, and then I found the ukulele and it was like, whoa, this is gonna be fun. It's a full-fledged instrument with a lot of history. There are a lot of professional adults who play the ukulele. Take it seriously. So stop looking at me like I'm a little kid, looking at you booking agents who say, oh, she plays the ukulele. There are many professionals all over the world who play the ukulele, and a lot of them are actually much older. There's a huge retirement community that loves the ukulele. You can find groups all over the world. Whether you're 8 or 80, ukulele is a great tool to express yourself. And it's not a stepping stone to another instrument. Rock singer Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam has a whole ukulele album, which is pretty good. He's definitely not a kid. There's an entire orchestra in the UK, the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain. That's a real thing. And there are ukulele festivals. I actually played the Orange County Ukulele Festival last year and it was so fun. I got to play with some of my ukulele heroes. Victoria Vox, Neil Chen, Ukulele. There are so many awesome artists out there playing ukulele. It's not just a kid's instrument. I do think every kid should be gifted a ukulele though, because it is something that they can sit with and feel like they're the right size. Because when I was little, trying to play this big classical guitar, I felt so silly and it was so difficult to play. So I do think the ukulele is an awesome instrument to give to a kid. Not necessarily a kid-only instrument. Special shout out to YouTube, because I feel like YouTube is a place where you can see folks all ages learning how to play the ukulele. And a couple years ago when Billie Eilish had her own signature ukulele released with Fender, I actually got to be the one who presented it and showed it off and played it on YouTube in this really cool video, which I will link above and below if you want to check out that ukulele, which I would say was intended for a younger audience, that specific ukulele. So certain ukuleles are intended for certain ages, but the ukulele instrument itself, just like a beginning kid's guitar is for a kid, the ukulele is for all ages. It's for anyone, like you. Myth number 6, all ukuleles sound the same. Do you really think both of these sound the same? Let's find out. Here's our concert ukulele. You feel better already, don't you? And here's a baritone. Can you hear how much warmer the baritone is? And there's actually 4 different kinds, not just 2. The baritone is the biggest, and there's a whole video on why I love the baritone ukulele. Link above and below. I think it's the coolest one, personally, but I am pretty alone in that thought, so go read the comments in that video. So there's 4 sizes. The smallest is the soprano ukulele, then the concert, the tenor, which is a bit warmer, and then the baritone ukulele, which I just showed you, is the deepest tone, and it almost sounds more like a classical guitar at that point. The soprano. The smallest one is brighter, a little more punchy. Concert's a bit more in the middle, a little more classic ukulele. When you think ukulele, I hear soprano or concert. Tenor has become more popular over the last decade or so, and I'm seeing it a lot more at ukulele festivals. And the baritone, my favorite, the least popular, but what a cool tone. You gotta find the one that's right for you. They all have a different tone quality, and on top of that, all 4 sizes giving you a different sound. Then you also have, okay, what strings are you using? What kind of wood was it made with? Because that also alters the sound. It gives you a different tone. And you can really start to train your ear the more you listen to ukulele. You can start to hear which one you're hearing in a song. The differences are pretty noticeable. And finally, ukulele myth number 7. You need a guitar to be a real musician. Someone literally said this to me. First of all, I do play guitar. I have a bunch of them. Whatever. Who doesn't? The ukulele does not need to be qualified by playing other instruments. The ukulele is its own instrument, and musicianship is not about the size of the instrument you're playing, it's about how you play it, right? The ukulele isn't less of an instrument because it's smaller in size. And a ton of artists have actually become very famous just for playing the ukulele. They've toured, they've signed with labels, there's a ton here on YouTube. The ukulele has its own very rich tradition, very cool community, and I feel like it's really growing in popular music. So it's only getting more recognized. When I first got to LA, I showed up in my rainbow attire with my little ukulele, and I was competing for gigs with rock bands who were wearing all black. They were very cool. They all played electric guitar and ran it through a fuzz pedal. And look, I love that music. It was really fun. It was very challenging to get a gig because when I said the word ukulele, people thought, oh, you don't really play music. You're just making silly little songs. And there's nothing wrong with silly little songs. I do have some of those, for sure. But there's so much emotional depth to the ukulele. It can be bittersweet, it can be nostalgic. You can shred on a ukulele, plug it in. One of my favorite shows was actually with a band that had ukuleles that they plugged into these guitar amps, ran through some crazy effect pedals, and it was like a punk rock show, but with just ukuleles. Wild. So no, you don't have to play any other instruments. You are a musician if you play the ukulele. If someone asks you if you play music, don't say, oh, I just play the ukulele. No, you play the ukulele, and that's awesome. It is awesome. I am a musician. It's really just an affirming video for you all so you can sing about your feelings. Artists like Australian Vance Joy, who had that Riptide song, which has been covered a million times on YouTube. The artist Dodie from the UK. There's Grace Vanderwall. You're seeing ukuleles more on these like singing competition shows on TV. It's just the best, okay? So stop coming for us. Those are our 7 myths debunked. Let me know if I missed any. Let me know if someone said a comment to you about the ukulele or something you've heard. Put that down in the comments below. I would love to hear it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to hit that subscribe button below. If you're looking for more ukulele covers, tutorials, occasional myth busting, my original music is also on this channel, so please check it out. It does feature ukulele, baritone, concert, tenor, all the things. Check it out and let me know what you think. Bye friends, see you next time.